So YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, and today guys we're gonna talk about the new Gishki supports alongside the Sprite archetype. So this variant is kind of strong, so having to make 7 or 8 interruptions during our turn or during our end board is very insane. First and foremost, the new selection pack introduced us to the new Gishki Sprights, which is a self once per turn negate, a copy of Focus Aquamirror that allows you to gain access to 1 Gishki monster from your deck to your hand, and with the Gishki Grimness allows you to spell summon 1 Gishki monster from your deck to the field. So your typical target for this is a copy of Abyss, and Abyss will gain you access to a copy of Shadow, or a copy of Vision. So these two will allow you to gain access to a copy of a ritual monster or a copy of a ritual spell card. So the thing about this deck is typically I've seen some other build where people are using a copy of or a third copy of a ritual spell card, which is the Aquamirror. Now typically this might be a really good card since the two spell cards right here, the Necro Mirror and the Photo Mirror, will reduce your life points. So typically it's not going to be like the best, but having these two will gain you access to 1 Gishki Sprights to the field. If you are able to use Aquamirror, then might as well gonna go for it, since this will allow you to go into 2 copies of Gishki Sprights to the field. Also, an additional copy for a ritual spell card will sometimes get you to brick. So just having these two alone is kind of okay. Other than that, the Melfi engine is quite necessary for the deck. I tried this with the Nimble engine a while ago, but it was very bricky. Furthermore, the Melfi engine is quite limited only, so let alone you have more slots in your main deck to go into a copy of your Ghost Second cards, like a copy of Triple Tactics Talent or a copy of your Evenly Matched. With that, you'll basically have the same lineup for your sprites as well, so that after you spell summon your ritual monster to the field, you can immediately go into your sprite plays. For your extra deck, the typical Melfi package, which is the Melfi of the Forest, the 1 copy of the Merry Melfis, and the 1 copy of Herald of Arclight if ever your opponent is trying to discard cards from their hand or deck to the graveyard. Also, it is an additional interruptions for a spell trap and monster negate. Other than that, you already have the same cards that you'll use in a sprite deck, so might as well gonna use them. So in the end board that I placed in my community tab, you can go with IP Masquerena as one of your end board or a copy of your Sprite Sprint. This is so that you can bounce 2 cards on the field. But yeah, I think Masquerade is a really good play here. Nevertheless, I think that is basically our main deck right here, guys. I'll showcase you guys how to make the 7 or 8 interruptions on the board. Alright guys, so here we are with our replays. So I'm gonna showcase you guys how to make the 7 to 8 interruptions for our end board, with or without any hand traps. So to start off, we have 1 Gishki Vision, 1 Ash Blossom, 1 Neuromantis, 1 Starter, and 1 Focused Aquamirror. So the Starter and the Aquamirror are really good 1-card combos. So let's start. Focus Aquamirror to the field. Since we already have the Vision and the Ritual Monster, we'll just need a copy of Shadow. So we gain access to our Grimness here. And then for the Vision, the reason why I dropped Vision earlier, so that by the 3rd turn, if ever our opponent can't do anything else, we won't draw into another copy of our ritual monster. If you have a copy of Shadow on hand, might as well gonna use it. So we normal summon our Grimness, spell summon our Abyss, gaining access to Shadow. Shadow will gain us access to our ritual spell card. For this, we'll go into Gigantic Sprite. Now before using the effect of Starter or using the effect of Gigantic Sprite, summon first your ritual monster, so that you won't be locked into Link 1, Rank 1, or Level 1 monsters. So we have 1 interruption on the board. With Neuromantis, spell summoning a copy of Vision, so that we can use it as an additional fodder. Gigantic Sprite will spell summon Blue. Blue will get a copy of Jet, and so Jet will get a copy of Smasher later on. So there we go. Get a copy of Smasher. Use the effect of Elf. Summon the Abyss. Abyss will use the effect. Get a copy of Shadow. Shadow will get a copy of our ritual spell card, so that we won't draw into our 3rd turn. And then we'll do our typical play. So Melfi of the Forest, gaining access to our Melfi Caddy. There we go. As our 3rd interruption. Use the effect of Starter, going for red as our 4th interruption. And then with the 2, we go for IP Masquerena. Now we can go for a copy of what you call this. You can go for a copy of Sprite Sprint also for two bounces with the Merry Melfies and a copy of Sprite Sprint. But the Masquerena is a really good card as well, so go for that. So by the end turn, we spell summon our Catty, and then with the Aqua Mirror Banish, we gain access to a copy of Illusion. So the Illusion, once Nermanis effect is activated, bouncing it back to our hand, we can use the effect of Illusion, spell summon another copy of Nermanis on the field so that we can have an additional interruption. So there we go. And that is our board, really strong. We're going up against Photon Galaxy here, so our guy is going to use Thrasher on the field. Use the effect of Catty, we'll negate it. He'll negate our Catty with the Ash Blossom, we'll negate it with our Nermanis. And with the Elf, since we're dealing with Photon Galaxy, we can spell summon our red for a monster negate. So with that, bounce back our Nermanis, negate the Ash Blossom, and Catty will gain us access to pinning. And negate the effect of Thrasher if he wants to attack our monster, and chaining it with a copy of Illusion, spell summoning another copy of our Ritual Monster. So we'll have an additional interruption on the board. There we go, our guy is going to use the effect of Hundreds. We'll use the effect of Ash Blossom since we have access to it. And with that, spell summoning a copy of Knight to the field. Use the effect of Pinning. Special summoning, I think I spell summon here a copy of Arclight, I think so. Because I don't want him to bounce. So there we go, Arclight. He'll go into a copy of Solar Flare. Use the effect. And we still have negates accessible for us. Nermanis back to our hand. And I think he has a last card on hand, which is the Trance. Trance is going to spell summon the level 4. We use the effect of Arclight for a negate, and that's basically it. And we still have red, we still have Masquerade, and we still have Masquerena, I mean, and we still have a copy of Smasher for our interruptions. So that is our first game, guys. Let's go to game number 2. Alright guys, so this is our game number 2, guys, and this is one of the funniest gameplays that I'm going to showcase to you guys. So, to start off, we have 1 copy of Grimness, 1 Nermanis, 1 starter, and 2 Imperms. So not really the best of hand, but at least we got a copy of Grimness here. So our opponent on our draw phase dropped a copy of Maxi. Luckily, we can just go for starter and then go for 3 interruptions on the board. So Jet, get a copy of Smasher, and that's basically it, our end board. And then we'll end our turn. There we go. So that's it. 2 Imperms and 1 Smasher. Our opponent is going to go first with a copy of Unicorn. Use the effect of Unicorn. Luckily, we got Imperm here. Negate the effect so that he can't access Birth or Theosis. But he already has a copy of Theosis on hand. So he's going to use the effect of Theosis, targeting the Unicorn. Might as well going to use the effect of Smasher and remove the target. Although I'm very open, but nevertheless, I think that was a good call because he has no cards. So during my turn, I have Grimace for a follow-up. He has a second copy of Maxi that he'll drop here, so might as well gonna go for game here. Grimace on the field, spell summoning the Abyss. Abyss into a copy of Shadow for our ritual spell card. Our guy is gonna go for Drool and Lock, so typically he doesn't know the effect of Drool and Lock here after he used the effect of Maxi. So yeah, sure, I'll take it. Use the effect of Grimness here. Use the effect of the original spell card for a copy of Nermanis on the field for a monster negate. And with that, spell summoning another level 2 in the graveyard, going for Sprite Elf, and then spell summoning the Abyss. Since we are under the effect of or influence of Drool and Lock, we can't do anything else but just spell summon our monster to the board. Go for attack, and that's basically the only reason why Nermanis can only attack is because we are under the influence of what you call that? The Grimness. So only ritual monsters can declare attack. Nevertheless, it's perfectly fine. We got 1 Imperm and of course a monster negate. During his turn, he used the effect of Extravagance. He used the effect of Elf, spell summoning the Grimness to the field. There we go. Drawing 1 card. Use the effect of Grimace. We'll get Ash Blossom, and yeah, that's basically it. So really fun game. Really fun and funny. So let's go to game number 3. Alright, game number 3, guys. We go for 1 red, 1 Grimace, 1 Ash Blossom, 1 Aqua Mirror again, and 1 evenly match. So sadly, we're not going second, but yeah, we have a really good starting hand. So we go for Aqua Mirror first. Getting a copy of Shadow, and might as well gonna use the effect since we already got a copy of Grimace. Might as well gonna go for Shadow. So Grimace on the field, typical play. He is gonna chain with Maxi. Luckily, we have a copy of Ash Blossom here. So we are unchallenged. So we go Grimace to Abyss. There we go. And the typical board, like what you said, like what you saw on game number 1. So there we go. Vision into a copy of our Ritual Monster. And then we go into a copy of our Sprite Elf. There we go. And then with that, spell summoning our first Interruption. The Neremanas. You spell summon the level 2. Use the effect of the Abyss. Get a copy of Shadow. Shadow use the effect. And then spell summon the red to the field. Now in some cases, if you have the Aqua Mirror Ritual spell card, you can go with, like I said earlier, 2 Neremanas on the field. But yeah, still works. Gigantic Sprite to the field. Get a copy of Blue. Blue will get a copy of Jet. And like I said earlier, the Abyss needs to be on Chain Link 1 to resolve its effect. So there we go. Melfi of the Forest. Melfi will get us access to Caddy. And the Jet will gain us access to Smasher. So this the typical same board that we did a while ago. So there we go. Fast forward this so that it will be our opponent's turn. And that's it. So Caddy, and then the Focus Aqua Mirror going for the Illusion. That's it. And we're going still up against Kashtira's. A lot of Kashtira games here. So our opponent just dropped a copy of Maxi. Doesn't really matter for me. He's going to go for Prosperity after using Maxi. So he does not read the effect of Prosperity. So you cannot draw cards by card effect the turn you activated this card. So I don't know why he used the effect of Maxi here. So our guy got a copy of Triple Tactics, I think. Yeah, Triple Tactics. So means he has a monster on the field or on hand. Spell summon the Unicorn. We'll just banish it. Masquerena is the best target here since we need the bounce. Use the effect of Birth. Spell summon back the monster. Use the effect of Sprite Elf. Summon the red back to the field. So yeah, still good. And we still have Catty and then our Monster Negate also for the Unicorn. So Catty, get a copy of Penny, Monster Negate or the Unicorn, use the effect of Triple Tactics. I think his only good target here is the Neremanas. Use the effect of Penny, get a copy of our Merry Melfi to bounce the Neremanas on the field. There we go. He's gonna control my Neremanas. Use the effect of Merry Melfi, bounce back my Neremanas. Use the effect of Neremanas, bounce itself back to our hand. Doesn't really matter because we got a copy of Illusion. Illusion will be using its effect. Spell summoning it to the field. We have another Monster Negate. Use the effect of Theosis. Spell summon the Fenrir. He doesn't want to use the effect since we have red. And he was trying to trigger the effect of red here. It was a failure. Go for Big Eye. Attack my red. And he doesn't read the effect of Neremanas. Go for Zeus and then use the effect for some reason. So there we go. This guy is now livid. Alright, so we won that game just because of it. Prosperity and Jolin Lock saved us in 2 of the games here. Very fun game and funny. Alright guys, so we have seen how to make a really good end board and we're always going first. What if we're going second and our opponent has a really good board? So we're trying to break this one. And we're still going up against Kashtira's. Yeah, a lot of people are using Kashtira's for the whole week, I'm not sure. Our opponent is going first. We got a copy of Abyss, 1 red, 1 Triple Tactics Talent, and 2 starters. So not really the best of hand going second, but Triple Tactics is really promising. Our opponent is going first, going for Unicorn, getting a copy of Theosis. So Theosis on the field, getting a copy of Fenrir. Fenrir is going to gain him an access to Scareclaw Kashtira, since he already has a copy of Rysark here on hand. So go into exit summoning the Shangri Ira. Ira on the board, and then Rise Heart is going to be spell summon, banishing one card. And he banished my Evenly Match and a copy of Triple Tactics. What a lucky banish. There we go, Big Bang will detach, spell summon the monster. And then with that, Scarecrow Kashtira is going to be on the board, banishing the Theosis. Theosis will gain him access to another interruption during my turn. So the Big Bang is a really intense card. And with that, going for a second copy of Shangri Ira into a copy of Rise Heart. So once Rise Heart is on the field, go for a Pathfinder to top it all off, gaining access to the field spell. And then the field spell will gain him access to, I think he's gonna get a copy of Unicorn here. Yeah, there we go. And then yeah, so this is his board. On the top left back row, that is the Big Bang. Top right back row, that is the Imperm. So we'll try to beat that. Luckily in our draw, we got a copy of Ash Blossom to negate the Unicorn. Search. There we go. Use the effect of Rise Heart, and this guy is just keeping his cool, not using the effect of Fenrir or Rise Heart during my main phase. So I need to trigger the effect of Rise Heart here. Luckily, he just negated the effect of Abyss with the Imperm. So I was really hoping that this card is going to be removed from the field to prompt the effect of Rise Heart, which of course he just used it willy-nilly. So use the effect of Triple Tactics, trying to take control of Rise Heart. But I really thought he's gonna banish my Abyss here. Instead, he's gonna banish his own Rise Heart. He doesn't want to use it. I think he's scared of his own Rise Heart. So my second best target here is Fenrir. There we go, and we're free to move. But before using the effect of Big Bang. So I don't know why he used the Big Bang early. So go for that. Starter to blue, blue to jet, jet to smasher, and going for elf. Elf spell summon another monster, going for Gigantic Sprite. And Gigantic Sprite will be spell summoning a copy of I think Abyss for a follow-up by next turn. There we go. So go for battle, banishing the Shangri Ira. And deal a ton of damage. There we go. And then spell summoning the Sprite Elf on our main phase 2 for protection for our Gigantic Sprite. And since our main threat here is if he has a copy of Birth or Theosis, doesn't really matter if he has a monster on hand, we can just banish it with a copy of Smasher here. So during his draw phase, the draw phase, we spell summon a copy of Carrot. The only targets that he can actually do is the Sprite Elf. So might as well gonna use the effect of Sprite Elf, spell summoning a copy of Abyss. There we go, and that's basically the game. So yeah, that is our replays, guys, and let's go back to the outro. So those were the replays, guys, and that is the main deck for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed this kind of content, and we'll tackle Rescue Ace in a bit. See you guys in the next video. Like and subscribe for more contents like this, and goodbye.